Okay, so give us a call on 66807999 if you're a subscriber and want to go into the draw to get 2 tickets to this beautiful event, which has some incredible musicians, as we've heard from Nerida before, as well as a yummy plate of food and a screening of a beautiful film that the Periwinkle Preschool has created to depict a day in the life of a preschool student in their preschool and the beautiful things that they do there throughout the day. And that's what we're going to talk about right now with Ellen. She's going to explain a little bit about the rhythms of the day and how children learn to be more independent, basically. And Ellen, would you like to expand on that?
Yes, I certainly would. Yes, there's a strong rhythm to the day. When the children arrive, as we said before, there's that second brekkie happening, that is informal, and they can join us if they want to, or often they'll go straight into their play. And that play goes on to probably around 11 o'clock, when we then come together. We have what we call probably a moment that is led by the teacher, an intentional teaching moment, and that'll be movement and songs and verses, and we call it a morning circle. And from that they go into their lunchtime, and then all that involves, and after lunch they're back into play, be it outdoors or indoors, or there could be both happening, just where the children need to be. And what I want to stress about this play is we call it a self-initiated play. So the play comes from the child. They're imitating adults in their world the whole time, and that's the very best thing they can do, is recreate this real work. But bring it down to their child initiative, and that's really interesting to watch, because children all play differently, so you start to get an insight into how innate their play is, that it happens so spontaneously and without any responsibility on them, and it can change quite rapidly. And as they get older, the imagination becomes even more and more open. And with these toys, if they're not fixed, they might want an ice cream shop, so all of a sudden you'll see they'll pick up little pieces of bamboo from the basket and wrap a white cloth around the top, and there's an ice cream. It's so obvious, but that is something we can't teach. That lives so strongly in the child. But Rudolf Steiner made connections that while the children, before 7, what they're doing is really refining their physical body. And he linked this work of the imagination actually to the development of the brain organ. And it's very exciting now with the brain research coming out that we definitely know the brain's changing over those first 7 years. So he spoke about that a long time ago. So we have a great respect for this work of the young child and how important it is. But also we have a real respect and responsibility how important it is to be on a path of self-development, because we do need to be worthy role models for them to imitate real-life, meaningful experiences. And, I'll read you a quote a little bit later where Steiner it talks about this capacity of learning in this way actually disappears around 7. But it's not lost. And it often comes out after 20 or 21. And so as kindergarten teachers or preschool teachers or parents, because we're all educators of the young child, we're planting seeds. And just like a seed, it disappears as the plant grows, and you often only see it again when the fruit is ripe. So they're beautiful pictures, and you're so nourished because it really is. They're teaching us as much as we can learn, and we have to feel really blessed when we meet these children who bring us challenging questions, and instead of trying to find out or fix their problem, because it's not often a problem, it's a question to us. What is it they need from us that they can continue this role of active learning because we don't see any little child who's not an active learner. And we don't often think about how much they've learnt through imitating us. We just expect that they'll crawl and walk and talk, and it goes on. So it's a very, very special time in life, and a real privilege to be able to work with these little people.
Oh, it sounds so beautiful. I'm teary. It's so true, the investing at the beginning of life, when really all the major pathways are being put down in the child's brain. I mean, that's when we most want to invest. It's not so much late. We need to invest at any stage, but definitely this stage where sometimes people think, oh, they're just kids. I think the opposite. Like, you know, it's the best time to give them the best of what you can, the best organic food, the best attention, the best space for them to grow and learn and live and explore the world, because that's when they're putting together all the bits of their everything, their body, their brain, and later on to be used when they're older, and how they end up manifesting that will very much depend on this early environment that they're having. It's so
definitely
amazing.
Yes,
Yeah.
Definitely. It's
So,
it truly is amazing. And you know, I think I often think the first year, actually I was still on my prac, and there was this little boy, and he was quite physical and often used to push children. Children would be in tears. And one day I was just there, and I held up his hands in front of his face, and I said, do these hands really want to hurt your friends? And he had such big eyes, and he says, no, they just need to know how strong they are. And you know, I just feel so blessed of that opportunity, because it really set me on a path of teaching of that we don't need to think we know what it is, but to really work with the child and ask these questions. Because once I knew he only needed to know how strong his hands were, I had something to work with, and said, oh, you know, it takes really strong hands to pick up all those blocks and put them back in the basket. And he had them back in a couple of minutes. And here's a little boy that, you know, hadn't been able to do those things. So I've got lots of lovely stories where they've taught me so many things.
And it's fascinating to be able to make that differentiation, because sometimes when a child hits another child, or they get hit by a child, we might say, oh, don't hit, or, you know, get upset with them. And if they do it regularly, think, oh, that child hits, you know, and instead of trying to really understand what's coming. And the more we do that over the lifetime of a child, of a human, if we put them in that corner or label them, they hit, they do that, without really trying to find out the space, the source of that, then we can really set them on that path, because we're telling them who they are all the time. And they listen. That's part of how they, So it's really nice to see that you can involve the child and actually observe them and be able to find what's really going on for them.
Yes, and if you're asking the question, what is it the child's asking, you're allowing an opportunity for your own inspiration and creativity to come forward, whereas if we have a judgment, we often miss that opportunity. We're too busy trying to fix it.
Yes. Well, it's 1:45. We're going to go to an announcement and a song, and we'll be really shortly back with you with more about the Winkle Wonderland event, which we have 2 tickets to give away, a double pass. So give us a call on 66807999. If you're a subscriber and would like to go into the draw to win the double pass to Winkle Wonderland, which is a film and fundraising event this Friday the 14th between 6 and 9 p.m. at the Brunswick Picture House. And lots of goodies will be waiting for you when you arrive, including curry, live entertainment, music, and a film screening. Music performances by Maple, which is Bridget and Monica Brandolini, and Davy Bob's Blue Healers, and Alicia Robertson. So that sounds all amazing. And I've got my 2 tickets for me and Mum, and it's a adults only event and a no alcohol event as well, which is fabulous to go and hang out with friends and just enjoy and have fun and dance and do lots of cool things. And so we'll be right back with you. Thanks for tuning in today.